This is Marcus Korva with Studio MMA and MMA Nuts, and we're here with the woman that everyone's buzzing about right now, Ronda Rousey. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Well, actually, I have a black eye right now.
I wasn't sure if it was makeup or if it's a black eye.
I tried to cover it up with makeup. Actually, I have a little one on this side and a big one on that side. So I train twice a day, but our boy Gabe was fighting today. He was going to fight today, so we came to support anyway. And I feel okay. That's my answer.
Don't take that. Don't let him do that to you. Don't let him punch you like that.
It was wrestling.
We had Bama and Gabe Rudiger was supposed to be the main event, one of your training partners from Dynamics, and it's a good show. It's up and coming, and you got some big names right here watching the fights. Did you enjoy the fights?
Oh yeah, I always enjoy watching amateur fights. It's and like pro fights like on a lower level. You know, it means so much to the people fighting, and I love seeing people's first fight. You know, you see a lot about them just as a person. You know, the first time they get put in the cage and on the spot in front of a bunch of people, and just all right, we're gonna lock the door and you two go at it. Like that first time that you do it, it's a really unique experience, and it's cool to see people go through that. It's like a rite of passage.
Was there anyone in there you saw and you think that person I will see in the future in either Strikeforce or in the UFC?
Boss's guy that was dropping the elbows on that dude's head, that was actually a really cool fight.
We got someone coming in here. What kind of shirt are you wearing, sir?
Dynamics, of course.
And we got a lot of people here. Obviously, with Gabe trained is at Dynamics, and we got Anton Hardonk here, yourself, Henry, the jiu-jitsu coach, Henry Akins, Vladimir Matachenko is here. It's a good team you guys got going on over there.
Here too.
Kamal. And someone I got the nice little cut from. Thanks a lot, Kamal.
Oh, really? He got you too?
Yes.
Oh, Kamal. He's 0 for 2 right now, dude.
Who else did I get?
Oh, he separated my AC joint from my shoulder before my last fight. Yeah, we didn't tell anybody about it because I wanted to fight.
How's the shoulder feeling now?
Fabulous.
And obviously you got a fight coming up for the title at 135. It's going to be your first fight at 135. How are you feeling with the weight?
I'm already on weight for 145 right now, and I have 7 weeks to lose the rest of the weight. So I feel great about it. And but just about the weight cut or the fight in general? I mean, no one's easy until after you beat them, but I don't think she's even the toughest girl I've fought so far, honestly.
Really? I like the Twitter war between the two of you going back and forth. Then, what's your opinion of Misha?
I don't know her that well personally. She actually seems very nice. You know, my teammate Manny is actually kind of like is friendly with her. You know, and says she's very cool, and I trust him. But you know, she has something that I want, and I'm going to do whatever I can to go and get it. You know, and to get the title shot, I did whatever was necessary to get that shot, and now I'm going to do whatever's necessary to win it.
And Henry, what do you feel? You've been there with Ronda's development in the fighting. How? Be honest here. How is she when it comes to training ethics, and the difference in her as a fighter, as a competitor?
Training ethics, she's very, very tough when it comes to training. She's the most competitive person I've ever trained with. If I give her a hard time in training, like she's starting looking around for sharp objects to fucking shank me with. So sorry, I dropped the.
It's okay, Sweden, people don't care.
But yeah, she's the most competitive person I've ever trained with, and I mean, the first time we ever trained, I was like, holy crap, this girl's gnarly for a girl. And I've trained with, you know, the best jiu-jitsu guys in the world, so yeah, she's phenomenal on the ground. So it actually really surprised me. I thought she was just gonna be able to throw me around, but actually, she was like on my arm. I was like, get off my arms.
And do you predict another armbar in this title shot?
I never predict anything. I don't know what I'm going to do until I get in there. You know, there's so many fights where I've made up things on the spot where I never know what's going to occur to me at the time. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
How about you? Any predictions?
I mean, I have a prediction, but I don't want to jinx anything. So I don't want to jinx it. So.
A week ago, a rumble in the female mixed martial arts scene with Chris Cyborg testing positive, obviously.
Really? Sorry, what was your question?
Chris Cyborg testing positive for steroids.
Wow.
Were you aware of that, first of all?
Yes, we are aware.
So you don't seem that surprised?
That really? Oh man, I don't have a future in acting, dude.
Not a good liar. That's one of the first.
I'm the worst liar on earth. Really, I'm terrible. That's why I'm so honest in my interviews. I'm like, I can't lie and do like the politically correct act because I'm so bad at it.
What's you weren't surprised, and there's a lot of people on online that've been talking about it. They weren't surprised either. So you don't think it was the first time?
The bone structure of your face doesn't distort like that unless you've been abusing drugs for years, dude. Really.
And do you think?
No one is naturally born with a face like that. No chick is. I mean, I'm sorry, women. No woman is naturally born
like
with
that.
voice like that or balls like that.
Oh, damn! I didn't go there.
Sorry, it's Sweden. It's Sweden. We can say anything, right?
You can say it.
If he's dropping F-bombs, I can say balls.
1 second, it's gonna change. We're gonna change battery. What kind of a fucking camera am I on? You should have heard. Oh yeah, you should have heard Boss. No, you should have heard Boss before he fucking went off.
About that whole thing.
Yeah.
About what?
On her and Anthony Johnson, we're gonna talk about that as well. Yeah, Boss is right. Boss went off, and I just thought it's fucking hilarious.
I love Boss.
Del 2.
Boss is not afraid to speak his mind.
Hell no, that's why Boss rules. Dude. I love Boss. Who doesn't like Boss Ruin? It's like saying yogurt parfaits. Who doesn't like yogurt parfait? You know, you gotta love Boss Ruin. Jeez. Even McDonald's can make good yogurt parfait.
That's what I was about to say. You're making me hungry for McDonald's now.
Really?
Throwing out the yogurt parfaits there.
And we'll talk about that. You can have.
He's a vegan who's
good.
craving yogurt parfait.
I didn't know you were vegan.
Yeah.
So is this weight cut being around Ronda when she's cutting weight is I'm not gonna ask you this. Is she less friendly to be around?
You know what? She has a little bit of a temper. She gets a little bit.
Really?
Not around me. Or maybe I'm just able to deal with it really well. Maybe I just.
Is that why she's got 2 black eyes?
Huh? Wasn't for me.
You know what? This is the worst joke ever. I hope my mom's not watching this. What do you tell a girl with 2 black eyes?
Nothing. You already told her twice.
That's right. That's awesome.
So it was a surprise. How common do you think steroids are, especially in female mixed martial arts?
Wait, what was the question?
Steroids, steroid abuse or performance enhancers in female mixed martial arts. Do you think it's common?
In mixed martial arts, not so much. I don't think so. I think it's kind of with women because steroids emasculate you so much. It's pretty easy to tell.
And on the male side?
I don't know. I would think it's a little bit more prevalent than people think because there are ways to get around tests, and so they're just statistically there's got to be more people using that are being caught.
And tomorrow, we have a huge fight in Brazil, obviously, with the UFC over there. And talking about cutting weight, looks like Anthony Johnson had some problems there. Any comments on that? 11 pounds?
There's no excuse for that at all. You know, it's not like he showed up there and they're like, hey, surprise, you're fighting at this weight. You know this for weeks or months ahead of time. And, we're professionals. This is our job. I don't expect someone that's operating on me, to come in and not wash their hands. It's just like, you know what you have to do. You have to come in at this weight. And if you're not professional enough to make your weight, then don't be a fighter.
And this is the 3rd time in a row, actually. The 3rd time in a square in the UFC that this is happening. What's the solution to it? What would you do with a fighter like that? If you were Dana White, what would you say?
Slap him.
Well, they took 20% of his purse and gave it to Vitra, so that's a pretty big chunk, But I mean, they should just make him fight at what his normal weight. I think he walks around at what they say 235, 240 is what he walks around at. Yeah. Make him fight at 205. They could pretty much say, look, this is the weight you're fighting at.
Yeah, Dana White did mention that it was very disappointed and felt that it was very unprofessional. But
he's got to weigh 205 tomorrow. That's what they said. That his max weight has got to be 205. They're going to weigh him tomorrow before the fight.
You think he'll be able to make it?
I mean, I thought he would be able to make 185 because he was fighting at 170 before, but who knows now?
What about you?
I think he'll have to.
Yeah.
If he doesn't,
he's going to get cut if he doesn't.
yeah.
Cut from the UFC, right?
If you miss weight 3 times and then they give you a second chance to make the day of the weigh-in and you miss it again, I mean, that's grounds to cut somebody. That's just, that's just a negligent employee.
He's going to blow the co-main event. He's going to blow the co-main event.
Yeah.
It's a huge show,
Huge shows. There's UFC's coming to where we're from, blue and yellow, Sweden, April 14th. Sweden. You guys are not strangers to Europe, at least. You have Anthony Hardong teaching the stand-up over at Dynamics. What else do you know about Sweden?
I've been to Sweden.
Both of you? I know you've been teaching seminars in Sweden.
I've been to Stockholm, partied in Stockholm. It was pretty fun. Went there doing the what was it, the European Cup. The European one. It was pretty. We were following the soccer games around. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
What about you?
I fought in the Sweden Open in Borås, Sweden.
Borås?
Yeah, Borås, or whatever you go.
Horrible place. Why were you there?
Why was I there? I was there for the fight because they it was one of the only tournaments where they would give you €1,000 if you won. And I was living in Montreal all the time and I was super broke and I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to pay rent, so I'm just going to go to Sweden and win this tournament. And I went and I won and I bought some boots and I went home and paid my rent.
That is not an issue anymore, right? Making money. How you?
It's an issue for everyone.
But it's changed, right?
It's a little easier. I'm not cashing in coins anymore, at least. You know, it's not like that much of a struggle where every month, you know, I'm living off of the Costco storm shelter diet. Bomb shelter diet. There we go. Storm shelter.
Talking about diet, is there any particular diet that you're following right now leading up to this fight?
Kinda.
The McDonald's yogurt buffet one?
The what buffet?
The McDonald's yogurt buffet.
No, it's not included in my diet. Usually it's, I eat heavier in the beginning of the day and then I get lighter and lighter towards the end of the day. So I usually go to bed hungry, which is good for him.
The coffee bean diet. That's what she's on every morning.
Kamal Chilarus, another teammate of yours, another student of yours, is fighting next week in Nashville, Tennessee. And from what I've seen of Kamal in the past and from training with him now, it's a new Kamal. Any predictions for that fight?
It's a totally new Kamal. I mean, he's improved so much and just gotten way more technical, you know, training with us. So I'm excited to see him fight. I'm excited to see what he does. Before, he was just kind of mostly a brawler. He wasn't using his wrestling so much, just kind of standing up and banging and throwing bombs. But he's very, very sharp right now. So excited to see what he does.
Well, I think I've seen his striking improve a lot. And I don't think that I think he's going to strike less because his striking is getting so much better, because I think he's going to be able to implement his wrestling more. He's been going to SK Golden Boys a lot more, so I think you're going to see a more wrestling-oriented Kamal Chilarus from now on.
And we'll find out next week, obviously. We've been following him for this fight. And Kamal is an interesting guy. Very, very serious about what he does, about his training, about his life, yoga, very spiritual in many ways. And the whole team, you see guys from different backgrounds, from Vladimir Matachenko, obviously from Russia, to Anthony Hardong, who's from Belarus. Yes.
USSR, Belarus.
Yes, old school. We're from Sweden, you know. For us, it's still the threat from the east.
Everyone's Russia. Everybody, yeah. They're East, they're Russia.
And then we have Anthony Hardong from Holland.
I thought he was from Russia. I'm kidding.
Way of Russia.
Yeah, Russia.
Kamal Chilarus from Russia, from Iran.
Kamal from Russia also. Mountainous area of Russia.
Gabe Rudiger with a lot of experience coming in from the UFC and so on. It's a team that's building, and what do you see a difference in the way people fight from the different countries that they're coming from?
Oh yeah, well you see a big difference in everyone's background, you know? Like Vladdy had a wrestling background and he's basically developing his stand-up and developing his submissions, and you know, Gabe from the United States started out with a jiu-jitsu background, so he's trying to develop his stand-up and his wrestling a little bit, and Kamal came from a wrestling background, so you know, he's trying to get his submissions better and his stand-up better. So yeah, you know, from each guy brings something different to the table. Like the U.S. has, I think, very, very strong boxing, and I think jiu-jitsu is really big. So most of the guys that are, and wrestling too. So you know, most of the guys coming from the U.S. either come with really strong with one of those aspects. The European fighters are kickboxing, and you know, the Eastern European have really, really great wrestling too. So you know, I think one of those guys, they focus more on one of those aspects and try to add everything else to their game.
Without mentioning any names, from the pro guys on the team from Dynamics, have you tapped any of the guys out? You don't have to say any names. You can say names. If it's Gabe Rudiger, please say names.
Of course I tap them out.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's cool.
I'll vouch for that.
You've seen it?
Saw her, and I was like,
That was his face. That was the real face.
wow.
Headlining the Sweden card, UFC on April 14th. It's going to be Alexander Gustafsson just for Vladimir Matachenko. What's your opinion on him?
I don't know. Ask him.
He's a dangerous fighter. You know, he's a good stand-up. He's dangerous. Who did they say he was fighting?
Lil Nog.
Oh, Little Nog. That'll be a good fight.
Do you think Lil Nog can take him down?
You know what? I haven't seen really much of his takedown defense. Vladdy didn't really try to take him down, which I thought was a little bit of a dumb strategy for him to stand and bang with him. I haven't really seen too many guys try to take him down. I know he fought Jared Hammond before, and Jared tried to stand and bang with him. So I don't know how good his takedown defense is, but you know, I think that would probably be the smartest option because that's where he's the most dangerous. He's been knocking everyone out, you know.
Did you notice that there's peacock feathers and scarab beetles on the floor? That's the weirdest combination I've ever thought of. I didn't think of it, but I've ever seen on a carpet.
Now that you point that out, that's
Anyway.
unusual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Were you asking me a question? Because you just put a microphone in my face for no reason with no question, so I thought I had to say something. I was looking at the carpet, and there you go. What else do you want?
Alexander Gustafsson versus Lil Nog.
I don't know. I don't know the other guy. I don't know.
I appreciate the honesty.
I know. I was like, you know what? Because he beat our boys, screw him. I want Little Nog to win.
Oh. You heard it right here. Ronda Rousey, March. What's the date?
3rd.
March 3rd. In the cage for the 135 title at Strikeforce. Anything you want to say to the Swedes out there?
Watch it on Showtime.
Love Sweden.
Sweden rocks.
Sweden's
Best boots ever. I got some really great boots from Boris, Sweden. Yeah.
Do you know that? That they have the best boots
I
in
didn't
Sweden?
have a name for them.
She's got her battle boots.
No, the
they're
battle
victory
were-
boots.
Yeah.
You wear them after victories?
No, because I got the boots because I got money from winning in Sweden, so they're called victory boots. The battle boots are the ones that I walk into the cage in, and they're at my mom's house, I think. I hope she didn't give them away because they look kind of ratty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March
Look like they've been through some battles.
That's why they're called battle boots.
March 3rd, Strikeforce on Showtime. Do we have Showtime in Sweden? No Showtime in Sweden. Go online. Eurosport is showing it. Eurosport. Sorry guys. Eurosport.
Yeah. It's going to be a good fight. A really good fight. You'll be impressed.
With me.
Thank you guys.
Girl can scrap. Girl can scrap.
Alright guys, thanks a lot. Oh shit, that's up on your handbag. Good.